Isaiah chapter 57. The righteous one has perished, and no one takes it to heart. And committed men are taken away, while no one understands that the righteous one is taken away from the presence of evil. He enters into peace. They who walk in integrity rest on their beds. But come here, you sons of the sorceress, you offspring of the adulterer and the whore. Against whom are you sporting? Against whom do you make a wide mouth and stick out the tongue? Are you not children of transgression, offspring of falsehood, being inflamed with mighty ones, false gods, under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys, under the clefts of the rocks? The whore, offspring of the whore. Are you not children of transgression, offspring of falsehood? The whore, Revelation 17 verse 5, Babylon, false worship. Proverbs 7 verse 10, the whore, false worship, straying from the teachings of Yah. Tied directly to verse 5, being inflamed with mighty ones, false gods, under every green tree. You ever bowed down to an evergreen tree? No, Bear, I've never done that. You haven't? How you pulling the presents out from underneath your Christmas tree? Slaying the children in the valleys. Molech. Among the smooth stones of the stream is your portion. They are your lot. Also to them you have poured a drink offering, these false gods. You have offered a grain offering. Am I, Yahweh, comforted in these? On a high and lofty mountain you have set your bed. There too you went up to slaughter a slaughtering. Also behind the doors and their posts you have set up your remembrance, for you have departed from me and have gone up to them. You've made your bed wide and made a covenant with them. This made your bed wide. This is marriage language, consummating the relationship language. And remember, the whore, false teachings, Babylon, the whore in Proverbs 7:10. For you have departed from me and have gone up to them. Whoring, idolatry. You've made your bed wide and made a covenant with them. You've loved their bed, where you saw their hand. And you went to the king with ointment, and increased your perfumes, and you sent your messengers far off, and lowered yourself even to Sheol, the place of the dead. You've wearied yourselves with your many wanderings, yet you did not say, I give up. You have found the life of your hand, therefore you have not grieved. And of whom have you been afraid or feared that you have lied and have not remembered me, nor taken it to your heart? Have I not been silent even from old, and you have not feared me? Let me declare your righteousness and your works, for they do not profit you, these works of false idolatry, false worship. When you cry out, let your collection of idols deliver you. But the wind shall bear them away, a breath take them. But he who takes refuge in me shall inherit the land, and shall possess my set-apart mountain, Zion, Jerusalem. And one shall say, heap it up, prepare the way, take the stumbling block out of the way of my people. For thus declares the high and exalted one who dwells forever, whose name is set apart. I dwell in the high and set apart place, and with him who has bruised an humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the bruised ones. For I, Yahweh, would not strive forever, nor am wroth, pissed off forever. For the spirit would grow faint before me, even the beings, the souls I have made. For the crookedness of his unfair gain I was wroth, and I struck him. I hid myself, and I was wroth, and he went on backsliding in the way of his heart. I've seen his ways, but now I heal him, and I lead him, and restore comforts to him and to his mourners, creating the fruit of their lips, peace. Peace to him who is far off and to him who is near, said Yahweh, and I shall heal him. But the wrong are like the troubled sea, for it is unable to rest, and its waters cast up mud and dirt. There is no peace, said my Elohim, for the wrong. 58. Cry aloud, do not spare. Lift up your voice like the shofar. Declare to my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Jacob, Israel, the house of Israel, their sins. Yet they seek me day by day, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and did not forsake the right ruling of their Elohim. They ask of me rulings of righteousness. They deliver in drawing near to Elohim. They delight in drawing near to Elohim. What is righteousness? Luke 1 verse 6. Blamelessly walking in the commands of Yah. They say, we have fasted, and you have not seen. Why have we afflicted our beings, hurt our souls? You took no note. Look, in the day of your fasting you find pleasure, and drive on all your labors. You're not actually fasting for Yah, you're fasting for your own purposes, and you're laboring when you should be resting and being prayerful. You're working, driving on in all your labors, when it should be a Sabbath to you. Look, you fast for strife and for contention, and to strike with the fist of wrongness. You do not fast, as you do this day, to make your voice heard on high. Is it a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his being? Is it to bow down his head like a bulrush, and to spread out sackcloth and ashes? Do you call this a fast, and an acceptable day to Yahweh? Is this not the fast that I have chosen, to loosen the tight cords of wrongness, to undo the bands of the yoke, to exempt the oppressed, and to break off every yoke? What did Yeshua say? Come to me, all ye who labor. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. See, they're talking about fasting here for religious reasons, religiosity, doctrines and dogmas. And yet Yah pays no attention to them. Versus fasting when Yah says to, which they're not paying any attention to. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. These are the commands, and they're a blessing. They're easy. Versus the commands and doctrines and dogmas of religion, which are not. Is this not the fast that I have chosen, to loosen the tight cords of wrongness, doctrines and dogmas, to undo the bands of the yoke, religion, to exempt the oppressed, those underneath the hands of men, and to break off every yoke, all your bad teachings? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry, and that you bring to your house the poor who are cast out, when you see the naked and cover him, and not hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light would break forth like the morning, your healing spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you. The esteem of Yahweh would be your rear guard. That's very indicative of the Exodus. Pillar of smoke, column of fire. Led by who? Yeshua. Then, when you call, Yahweh would answer. When you cry, he would say, here I am. We know from Proverbs that the Father doesn't hear the prayers of the unrighteous. So what he's saying here is, if you would simply do what I told you to do, and observe the most basic mitzvah, most basic commands, share your bread with the hungry, clothe the naked, open up your house to those that need it, then your light, let your light shine, brother, then your light would break forth like the morning. Your healing spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before you. The esteem, the glory of Yahweh would be your rear guard. Then, when you call, Yahweh would answer. If you were to do righteousness, then Yah would answer your prayers. Then when you call, Yahweh would answer. When you cry, he would say, here I am. If you take away the yoke from your midst, the pointing of the finger and the speaking of unrighteousness, bad doctrines and dogmas, if you extend your being, if you extend your soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted being, then your light shall dawn in the darkness, and your darkness be as noon. Then Yahweh would guide you continually and satisfy your soul in drought and strengthen your bones, and you shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters do not fail. And those from among you shall build the old waste places, the ruins. And you shall rise up the foundations of many generations, and you would be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in. Verse 13, 14 are beautiful. If you do turn back your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my set-apart day, and shall call the Sabbath a delight, the set-apart day of Yahweh, esteemed, and shall esteem it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words, then you shall delight yourself in Yahweh, and I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth, and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob your father. for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken. Yeah, do the Shabbat, not your way. Oh, well, it's the day of the Lord is Sunday now. Nope, not your way. Well, what difference does it make if we have a nice ham dinner? Not your way. Well, yeah, I know it says not to buy and sell, don't handle money, but, it's no big deal. Not your way, Yah's way. If you turn back your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my set-apart day, and shall call the Sabbath a delight, the set-apart day of Yahweh, esteemed, glorified, and shall esteem it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words, then you shall delight yourself in Yahweh, and I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth, and feed you with the inheritance of Jacob your father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken. A couple cross references here. Exodus 31. Everybody flip in your Bibles to Exodus chapter 31. Shamot. Exodus 31, verses 12 through 17. And Yahweh, the Lord your God, spoke to Moses, saying, and you speak to the children of Israel, that's us. Oh, no, that's them Jews over there in the Middle East. Read Romans 11, verse 16. Read it. That's what you're grafted into. Israel, the family, and the family has rules. And you speak to the children of Israel, that's us, saying, my Sabbaths you are to guard by all means, for it is a sign, just like this wedding ring is a sign of a covenant between me and my wife. It is a sign between me and you, between Yahweh your Elohim and the children of Israel. And you, throughout your generations, that means forever, to know that I, Yahweh, am setting you apart, making you holy, sanctified, set apart. And you shall guard the Sabbath, for it is set apart to you. Everyone who profanes it shall certainly be put to death. For anyone who does work on it, that being shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days work is done, and on the seventh is a Sabbath of rest set apart to Yahweh. Everyone doing work on the Sabbath shall certainly be put to death. And the children of Israel shall guard the Sabbath to perform the Sabbath throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant. How long? Everlasting covenant. Oh, well, that was nailed to the cross. You should read that. Colossians 2:14. The doctrines and dogmas of men were nailed to the cross, which we just read. We just read in Isaiah, Yeshayahu, that the Father doesn't really give one flying flip about your doctrines and dogma. He doesn't care, because you're not God. He is. An everlasting covenant. That means forever. Malachi 3 verse 6. I'm the Lord Yahweh Sabaoth. I change not. And when between me and the children of Israel is a sign forever. 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 Between me and the children of Israel, it, the Sabbath, is a sign, a wedding ring, a mark of the covenant. Forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And when he had ended speaking with him on Mount Sinai, he gave Moshe 2 tablets of the witness, tablets of stone, written with the finger of Elohim. Not written by man. Written with the finger of God. So again, go read Colossians 2:14. What was nailed to the cross? Religion, doctrines and dogmas of men. I'm the Lord Yahweh Sabaoth. I change not. Yeshua HaMashiach, the same yesterday, today, and forever, in whom there is no shadow or shifting of turning. Pick your translation. They don't change. It was never done away with. Forever it is a sign, the Sabbath. And of course, Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 5, the second telling. Devarim meaning words. Deuteronomy in the Greek meaning the second telling. Deuteronomy chapter 5. You might recognize some of this stuff. And Moshe called to all Israel all of Israel. Remember that Romans 11 thing? 11:16, you're grafted into what? The tree of life. What's the tree of life? It's a metaphor for Israel. That's why Shaul of Tarsus, the Apostle Paul in the book of Romans, is talking about, hey, if the native branches could be broken off, the house of Judah, the house of Israel, you who are grafted in better be extra sure that you don't get broken off as well. What is he talking about? The tree of life, which is Israel. And Moshe called to all Israel and said to them, hear, Shema, O Israel, the laws and the right rulings which I speak in your hearing today, and you shall learn them and guard to do them. Yahweh our Elohim made a covenant with us in Horeb. Yahweh did not make this covenant with our fathers, but with us, those who are here today, all of us who are alive. I wonder who he's talking to. Yahweh spoke with you face to face on the mountain from the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahweh and you at that time and declared to you the word of Yahweh, for you were afraid because of the fire, and you did not go up the mountain, saying, I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. You have no other mighty ones against my face. You do not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of which is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them nor serve them, for I, Yahweh your Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing loving commitment to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands. You do not bring the name of Yahweh your Elohim to naught, for Yahweh does not leave him unpunished who brings his name to naught. Guard the Sabbath day to set it apart, as Yahweh your Elohim commanded you. 6 days you labor and shall do all your work, but the seventh is a day of Sabbath of Yahweh your Elohim. You do not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your ox, nor your donkey, nor any of your cattle, nor the stranger who is within your gates, so that your male and your female servant rest as you do. And you shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Mitzrayim, and that Yahweh your Elohim brought you out from there by a strong hand and an outstretched arm, the Yod Yeshua, Paleo-Hebrew. Therefore Yahweh your Elohim commanded you to perform the Sabbath day. Oh, I wonder if he was kidding. He was just joking around, right? And yeah, no, we don't have to do that anymore, because my, sopping wet P-word polo wearing effeminate beta male pastor said from behind a pulpit, based upon his, rearing in seminary, that he, we don't have to do that anymore, because that was all nailed to the cross. And Jesus is love, brother. Or God said, you pick. You pick. Because who's going to be there at the end of an age when every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess? Who's going to be there judging you? I submit there will be 3 entities there. You are one. And you will be on your knees with your face in the dirt, weeping. And Yahweh, the Lord our God, will be another, sitting upon the throne of judgment. And you better pray, for you it's the mercy seat. And then your intercessor, Yeshua, will be there. And the only way you get out of that alive is by the intercession of Yeshua. Your effeminate beta male pastor won't be there. And Yah won't give a flying flip about all the bad doctrines and dogmas you were taught. A little proof text here. Revelation chapter 22. The last book in the Bible. After that whole nailed to the cross bad teaching part. 22 verse 12. Yeshua speaking. And see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give to each according to his work. What did you do? Not what did you think about, what did you talk about? Not what did you pray over? Not how did you understand it in your heart? What did you do? You shall know them by their fruits. And see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give to each according to his work. I am the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those doing his commands, so that the authority shall be theirs unto the tree of life, that thing you were grafted into, Romans 11, to enter through the gates into the city. And what city is that? The New Jerusalem. And that, y'all, is in the last. It's on the last page of the Bible. But outside are the dogs, and those who enchant with drugs, and those who whore. We read about the whore. And the murderers, and the idolaters, and all who love to do falsehood. And I, Yeshua, have sent my messenger to witness to you these matters in the assemblies. I am the root of what? And the offspring of David, Yeshua, Mashiach ben David, the righteous king prophesied in the Old Testament to restore the Father's people to the Father by restoring the Torah, the instruction, the laws, the commands, the right rulings. And the Spirit of the bride, that's us. The Spirit of the bride says, come. And he who hears, let him say, come. And he who thirsts, come. And he who desires it, take the water of life without paying. For I witness to everyone hearing the words of the prophecy of this book, if anyone adds to them, Elohim shall add to him the plagues that are written in this book, doctrines and dogmas. And if anyone takes away from the words of this book of prophecy, oh, you don't got to do that, nailed to the cross, Elohim shall take away his part from the book of life and out of the set-apart city which are written in this book. He that hears the witness of these matters says, yes, I am coming speedily. Amen. Yes, come, Master Yeshua. The favor of our Master Yeshua Messiah be with the set-apart ones. Amen. Set-apart ones under the covenant, wearing the wedding ring of Yah. Exodus 31, a sign forever between you and Yah. Bless y'all. Shalom.